What is going on, button pushers? Today we are going to be breaking down this GoPro Hero Black 7. It is one of my GoPros that just for some reason stopped working. You know, I tried different batteries, tried a bunch of different things, but I guess since I didn't turn it on for a while, it pretty much died. So we are going to be taking this apart and seeing what's inside because that's fun, and why not? Because there's nothing else we can do with it. So we're going to start off. I have my magnetic metal bowl. This is for all the parts of the pieces. It's completely magnetic, so you know, any screws and anything, it'll hook on, it'll hook in and not fall. So that's always really good to have if you're planning on doing stuff like this. Like I did with my T2i and my 18 to 55. We have our tools over here. Yeah, let's get into it. So first things first, I'm going to remove and keep the battery out. That'll reveal some parts and pieces inside that we can get to later, but I'm going to try to take off this housing first. Now, it doesn't look like there's any visible screws anywhere here, so what we actually have to do is we have to go in through the lens, and it's going to be pretty hard to get to it because we do have to twist it off. It's starting to lift very slowly, so I'm just going to keep going around it, and eventually I'm hoping that it will just pop off or allow us to twist. So let's keep going around. Alright, we're getting a twist, so now we can twist and it comes right off. So that exposes the camera itself. That looks pretty sick. I like that. That looks really cool. And it shows us these screws inside here. So that's pretty cool. This is definitely going to be one of the things I'm going to keep for display. From here, I actually don't know what to do. I feel like we can lift this whole front piece off. There's a little gap right here. So let's see if we can actually take off this front piece by going under. If you can see, there's this little hole right about here. And I feel like we can lift the cover off from here. If we just kind of do what we did before, kind of fit in the gaps. Now I know definitely around this camera portion, there's probably some electronics that are there. Let's try to use our hands now to get in there, but I think even using just hands it's harder, so we might need to stick to the tool, stick it in there first. It doesn't look like there's any electronics on top based on me looking inside from there. I'm hearing some snapping of the front cover. We're in. We're so in. There we go. We're getting around it now. The cover's coming off. Here we go. What does the inside of the GoPro look like? Come on. We just need to get this piece right around the camera portion off. GoPro is so like packed perfectly tight. It's really hard to take apart. There we go. Front cover of the GoPro 7 Black is off. Got that nice little plastic film here for the screen. And we're getting into the internals now. This is what it looks like stripped. We still have a lot more to go, but now it's a lot easier. We have screws here, 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 6 screws. We have the little tiny monitor available. Let's get like a thumbnail photo here. There we go. The camera we definitely want to preserve, so I'm going to make sure that this is okay at least. But so far, so good. Let's see. Oh. Just right. Perfect. Okay. Soy is here to stay, guys. So we're going to get these 6 screws off, and we can open this protective cover on top of the GoPro where the camera and the monitor are protected. Alright guys, here we go. The true inside of the GoPro without the protective cover. Unless this is the GoPro. This is the GoPro, guys. It's actually this piece. So this is what happens when we take those screws off. Pretty sick. Now, what we need to do is we need to detach these wires and these cables so that we can put this piece down and then get into here and figure that out. So let's slowly try to wiggle these out. The ribbon cables are the hardest part because they're so like fragile. So we can remove the ribbon cables here. Ribbon cables are off and intact still. Soy is up here again. Does this one attach the same way? Let's remove this cover here. Okay, Soy, please. Take this ribbon cable for the camera off real quick. We're gonna get back to this cable later. Right now, I'm going to be taking off this motherboard part so that we can detach the camera and everything else. So let's take care of that first. Okay, motherboard screws should all be out. Let me double check before I start tugging. There's cat hair on it now. Let's see if I can get under it without breaking anything. So I think it may be glued down. My question is it just glued down super tight? Or is it actually attached somewhere? Honestly, I feel like it's just glued down. A piece of it did just come off. We did break one ribbon cable, or one cable for the LCD, which again, I don't mind because it's already broken and we're not going to be using this ever again. But I'm trying to figure out where this is attached because I can't tell. I feel like it's attached here on this corner, and I'm trying to lift it without breaking the actual motherboard in half. But I feel like we need to take this piece off, and I'm just trying to find out where. I think this one comes out. Hi, baby. There's a screw here. Let's take this screw out. This is the screw. Look at how deep this screw is. The question is, what is holding down the lens? And honestly, I feel like there isn't really anything holding it down. Oh, there's literally one right in front of my face, and I just missed that. It was under the ribbon. So once I removed it, I can finally see it. But this one is also a long screw. And it fell right off. That was what was keeping us there. Awesome. Sick. This is a USB port. Kind of crazy. Now we can remove the ribbon that attaches the camera. And now that we remove that, we can remove the motherboard. Check that out. We've got some cool stuff there. It has some adhesive, some sticky tape. Let's take off the sticky tape if we can. I really need a trash bag. Okay, motherboard is good. We just need to detach these colored cables now. There we go. You've got your GoPro motherboard. Pretty cool. And we have the lens and the monitor still. So there's just a few screws here that I need to do, and then the camera should come right off. Seems to be a little bit more holding it down. Let's see. Oh, lens came right off. That is pretty sick. Cool, very cool. Then we are left with this here. This is the monitor. Let me see if I can just punch this out, honestly, without damaging it. Or maybe I should just keep it this way. Let's give it one push, see if I can get it out. If not, then we'll keep it this way. Let's keep it this way. I just heard something snap and I didn't like that. I cracked a little bit of it here, so I'm not gonna touch it anymore. Which I'm trying to figure out how we get off this plastic casing so we can get into the electronics on this corner here, or this edge. Because I have already removed the screws as far as I know. Just the question is, how do I get to it? Are there screws under this piece here? There's like a tape here. I'm really wondering what is keeping the metal battery slot in place. Because it would be great if I could take this off to display it. I'm just trying to see like where's the point that's keeping this box in place, because I already removed the screws. So my question is, why are you still in there? Let's see if my theory is right. It's glued on the bottom here. Yeah, there's adhesive on the bottom. That's why the box is still in. All right, it's off. And now we've got this part here, these internals, which now should be super easy to take off now that that piece is gone. Okay, just remove one of the ribbons. This is the power button. No, that was the record button. What I'm about to get now is the power button. So that's the power button. But one more problem is that it's connected under the GoPro. On the back of the GoPro, where we have this bigger screen. So the real question now is, how do we get that out? It's working, guys. I lifted this here to get under it, and we're bending it, and it's getting somewhere. We just ripped the metal. This is pretty dangerous, actually, because metal is sharp. So please, if you decide to do something similar, please, please, please be careful. Let's try to rip the other side a little bit if we can. I'm gonna be really careful with this, because if it comes out too fast, it might cut me, because I'm really close to it. There's only so much real estate inside of a tiny little GoPro to grab things and pull things, so. We almost got the entire casing out. Almost there. Just a few more bits. If I can grab them. Let's see if that's good enough. I see the adhesive that's hanging on for dear life right now. And I'm trying my hardest to remove it. That's okay. Okay, we got it. We've got all the layers. This was the last layer of monitor protection. So we've got everything. We've got the monitor here, which I definitely think that I need to add some tape to, just to re-secure it. We'll use a little bit of gaff tape, some thin sheets, because this will not stay. Look at all those scratches from us trying to get it off. We've got the front casing of the GoPro here. We've got the front LCD with the camera hole. We can make that into a ring. We've got the motherboard of the GoPro itself. We've got the battery that I'm definitely not going to be taking apart because that's dangerous. We've got the lens cover and the lens itself, which I think is probably the coolest part. We've got a USB-C port, which is cool. Oop, dropped a screw. We have the casing for the USB and the USB-C port. We've got some ribbons here. And then we have the entire whole LCD housing ordeal going on here. And I think maybe to display this, we just display it like this, outward like that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, yeah, that was a fun little thing. A little complicated when it got to that last part there and getting into the housing, but pretty fun. I'm gonna make a little diagram out of this and it'll look pretty good. It'll look pretty cool. At least I think so. Hopefully it does, because if not, then we just wasted so much time.